photos. Thousands of these red gates, and I went through at midnight and ran around. This is back in my halcyon days of Nikon, and I had a SB800. I ran around all this wet stuff and flashed everything to make it bright. I was just out there by myself doing timed exposures. I spend a massive amount of time by myself, really. I know you guys always see me in social situations, but I'm really like a fairly lonely guy that just sits at home on his computer or is out taking photos. So it's always nice to just be alone, and then you put something online and share it, and then you come to these things and you realize that actually none of us are alone. Okay, here's Trey's travel tips for Thailand. This is a little hot piece. So I go to a lot of temples, a lot. And this is my favorite temple I've ever been to. This is in Pattaya, Thailand. Jump to the next one. As I went down through into here, you weren't supposed to go inside. This is the entrance to the temple. Unbelievable carvings, just incredible. And then once you go inside, it looks like this. Well done, Curtis. This is just amazing, and it's not any particular theme. It has all the themes of Hinduism, Buddhism, Islam, Christianity. They're all just kind of mixed together in this. And one of the most amazing things about this is it started being built in 1985. So it's one of the newest temples in the world. Next. I'll show a few Antarctica photos. Don't you wish we were there right now? It's so nice and cool. When I was there, I was just like, oh, I wish I was someplace hot. You always want what you don't have. Anyway, so this was the most exhausting photo experience in my life. You see all these big ice blocks. We actually had to cut these out of the ice with a saw. We carried them over. They're tremendously heavy. And we built this kitchen so that it would protect us from the wind. It was like real life Minecraft. It was amazing. And then I was so exhausted when I was done. And you're wearing this big emergency weather conditions outfit. It's just freezing. And then you think, oh my God, I guess I gotta go take photos now. But, I might only be there once, so I just gotta, give it everything. Okay, next. This is a really cool glacier called the Taylor Glacier there. It's on the mainland. Next. I took this one when I was with Peter Deering and the Peak Design team. We were flying in Vietnam from one island to another, and I just shot this out the window. I used a small camera. I used a Sony RX100 Mark III. Just a tiny little handy thing, and it's amazing. I think that it doesn't matter what camera you use nowadays. You can just do anything. Okay, next. I now talk a little bit about Papua New Guinea. I just came back from there just a few days ago, and it's a very, very dangerous place. What happens is we were up in the mountains with these tribes, and all the tribes get together once a year to kind of have their territorial disputes and figure out where the lines are. And they don't exactly fight, but they have like a big dance-off. And like whoever wins the dance-off can, get their status back or whatever. But there's also quite a bit of violence, because around noon what happens is it actually gets physically violent, and the military police come in and they drop tear gas and start firing off guns, and that's usually about the time that I leave. But the people there are unbelievable. You try to get as many photos as you can before it happens. So this is a clan that painted themselves like death skeletons. You know, the next one. Yeah, this is a real nice guy. Renee and I were wandering through the jungle, which we probably should not have been doing. It turned out just to be a threat and not real, but it was pretty exciting, I'll tell you that. I don't know why I was taking photos and not running, but I got a photo. Okay, next. This is another tribe. Every tribe paints themselves totally differently. These guys are half black and half white on their paint. Next. This is another group of pygmies. That's an arrow that he's aiming at me. Pretty nice guys generally though. Next. Just another example of the amazing people. The eyes are incredible. And what struck me about this is very similar to Burning Man, in that all these people, they're just very comfortable with their own sense of self and their own sense of self-expression. And you can just see that when you take photos. Here's another group. This is an all-women military group. Pretty serious gals here. Didn't want to mess with them. Next. And this is the last one I'll share from Papua New Guinea. These are the mudmen Really interesting guys. They wear these masks, and they also carry around versions of themselves that are wearing the mask, which is super weird, but awesome. I'll show a few Burning Man photos here. I love Burning Man. I've been there 6 years in a row. Keep on going. We'll go through a few of these pretty fast here. This is what Burning Man looks like from above. It's quite organized, actually. Next one. Next one. This is my favorite statue of all. This was from last year. It's called Embrace. This is all built out of wood, and these are the two people that built it down here. I thought it was nice how they were hugging in front of their own statue. It cost $250,000 to build, and then they burned it down 4 days later. And I think it's a nice statement on how ephemeral everything is. It's actually quite lovely. Okay, next. This is my friend's son. We dressed him up like an alien to go freak out all the hippies that were on acid. He was walking. It was great. It was a great day. Oh man. Here's some photos from this year. A lot of these are unpublished. I don't know when I'll publish them. They have amazing dancers out every night. This is a beautiful statue. You know, you might know Bliss. It used to be over on Treasure Island. This is the next version of that, and it actually breathes. You can see the chest moving in and out. It's unbelievable. Okay, next. This is a great temple. I went there almost every day. The light was different. Just a magical place. Next. This is a really cool thing. This is this giant ape skeleton thing with all these ropes on it, and people could come pull the ropes and they could move around. It was just, the whole thing is surreal. This is one of my favorite art cars. This is called El Pulpo Mecanico. It's this huge ape-armed octopus thing that shoots flames out. Super steampunky. Next. This is a Hydra that was there at Center Camp. It breathed fire at night. Amazing. This is when the man was burning. On Saturday night, they burned the man. They do fireworks, there's explosions. One of the most exciting things is that they have these huge gas bombs that go off, and you just feel it ricocheting through your skeleton. It shocks the crowd every time, including me. This is sort of a compression shot, just showing just like what goes on in the middle of the day. I mean, everything is happening all the time there. It's completely like a dreamscape. Here's El Pulpo in a sandstorm. We had lots of sandstorms this year, but it's great for photography. Here's some girls dancing at the base of another sculpture. A lot of this stuff I can't publish because there's nudity, and I always get flagged by all these internet haters. So I don't even try to publish it anymore because they just get flagged. But I'll put it on my personal site. I think this is the last photo I'll share. This is the man in the middle of a sandstorm. I took this with a drone. I couldn't see anything on the ground, but I just launched the drone up high. And this screen is not the best, or the projector isn't the best, but you can see streams of sand just like ripping through this thing. Yeah, and I think really what Burning Man did for me is I was already on my own path of self-expression, I think. You guys know me. I'm very open, I'm very vulnerable, I just tell you anything, which I think is actually very childlike and the right way to be, but it took me a while to come back to that after my sort of engineering life, I guess. But I think Burning Man just kind of helped to accelerate that process and let you know it's okay just to tell everybody everything about you, because the right kind of people show up, just like all you guys showed up tonight. So anyway, thank you very much. Woo! Yeah.